Hey, so this is Rob to talk about my recurve bows. I started shooting recurve bows, my first hunting bow when I was 13 years old. I had a neighbor that hunted, and I saw his and wanted one, and I worked for him and saved my money, and I bought a Bob Lee red, I think it was called a red tail hunter. Um, that I had for years, and then sold it when I was in my late 20s, after I stopped bow hunting. But so in 2009, a coworker who was just getting into bow hunting got me back interested again, and I bought a recurve bow. I was trying to get the same bow that I had, the red tail hunter, and I couldn't find one, but I did find this Kodiak 50 pound, which is what I shot, 50 pound draw weight. This was a great bow. I don't think it came to me almost pristine, almost never shot. And it's a Grayling, Michigan bow. It's got the green glass and the bronze badge. Anyway, it came 52 inch, and it was a little shorter than I wanted, but I got a great deal on it, so I bought it. And I hunted with this for probably 2 years, and I put down the bow again for a couple of years and started again in 2016. But I wanted something a little bit longer, so I hunted around again for that 58 inch bow. That's what I was really going for. But also price was an issue, so the next bow I found, and actually just got through shooting it again for the first time in 2 years, was this Damon Howard Hunter. This is 55 pound at 62 inches. This is a great bow, man. These Howard bows are just made bulletproof. They're just absolutely gorgeous bows. The problem with this was going from a 52 inch to a 62 inch was just too much, too fast, and even just the weight. I feel it now, it feels light compared to the 3-piece I carry now in the woods, but it just felt heavy, bulky. Where I used to hunt was pretty tight, so it just, I hunted with it a couple times, 3 or 4 times. I shot it all winter long, and then in hunting season, I took it out I shot it all winter long because I was away for the summer, so I didn't have access to my bows. So come hunting season, I did take that out 3 or 4 times, but went back to the 52 inches because I was just more comfortable with that. So the next bow that I bought was this Martin Dreamcatcher. This was actually designed by Larry Hatfield, who was the bow year for Damon Howard. And then when Damon Howard was killed in a car accident, they sold the company to Martin, and he went to work for Martin, and he designed this bow. This is a 50 pound Dreamcatcher. Those are my camouflage limb covers. This is quite a bit lighter than the Hunter, and it's 2 inches shorter. And again, I was going for that 58 inch, but couldn't find it, and this Dreamcatcher really caught my eye. And so I picked it up, and I had this 2 years actually before I even had a chance to set it up and shoot it. And then this summer, in June, I set it up and started shooting it, and then built some arrows for it and began hunting with this bow. But I am cross dominant, so I was shooting a bow obviously since I was 13, and when I bought my first bow, and I went to the store, and the gentleman at the hardware store said, or at the sporting goods store said, "Are you right or left-handed, son?" And I said, "Right-handed, sir." And so I got a right-handed bow. I probably should have been shooting a lefty. So this year, for fun, I went out and I bought the Mandolin Lin Mandarin Duck, the Black Hunter, and a lefty. And although I could shoot the lefty pretty good, it was queuing up the arrow was the difficulty for me, and then picking up the bow. I constantly wanted it to have it in my left hand as opposed to my right hand for shooting. But once I kind of thought about it and got it in the right hand and started to draw back, I was actually hitting pretty good at 11 yards right off the bat, hitting within a 3-inch group, shooting at 11 yards. And I was shooting inside. But I decided, because I was so clumsy with it, that I probably should just stick. I wasn't shooting that terribly bad right-handed, so I just stick with right-handed bow. So I went online and I wanted to buy a right-hand riser. So now I had a left-hand bow. I dropped to 40 pounds because I knew it would be a weak side, and I wanted to get a right-hand riser and 50-pound limbs. So I bought a generic. This is the Black Hunter, but it's not Mandarin Duck. It's one of those Amazon bows. But it specs out exactly the same, with the exception of the riser, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So the limbs were the same, except they're in 50 pound. And when I got this bow, I switched the limbs back and forth. Everything fit fine. So I had 40-pound limbs and 50-pound limbs now with a right-hand riser, and I paid $100 for this. The problem with these risers on the Black Hunters, as far as I'm concerned, if you're used to shooting the bears and the Damon Howitts, is that the locator grip, the throat of the neck on the locator grip is much thinner. It's almost feels like it should be for a woman's hand. And so what I did with this one, and this is not even the same riser as the Blacktail Hunter. This came in 3 colors, and the first 2 were the exact original Black Hunter risers, but this one was a lot different. This one more mimicked the bears and the Damon Howitts. It's wider up here. If you saw them side by side, you'd be able to tell. I don't have the left one unpacked now, so I can't show it to you. But what I did with this, and I'm kind of a tinkerer, you know. You see, I added that wood piece to my quiver. I built that and added that. But so what I did was, to beef up the grip, I contact cemented a leather piece. I cut and molded a leather piece around, changed out the arrow shelf pad, and I put a little piece of leather underneath here, underneath the locator grip, to kind of hold my hand lower. And I started shooting this bow during the middle of hunting season, and then I switched over to this bow as my go-to bow for hunting, just for this season. I don't know if I'll do it next year again. But what I liked about this was, first of all, after I changed, put the leather grip on it, I was shooting it well, as good as I was the other bows. And because it was only a $100 bow, getting it banged around and trashed in the woods wasn't as big of a deal for me. I was always worried about my vintage bows getting damaged. And this one, I wasn't. So, you know, I don't know, it just felt more right. But also because it's just a $100 bow. And I'd never seen anybody online say they shot an animal or showed they shot an animal with their Blacktail Hunter, or their the Black Hunter bows. So I kind of wanted to be the first to post that video. However, I didn't get a whitetail this year. I did pass up a couple small ones and really screwed up on a big buck at 12 yards where I had set my bow onto the ground and was fiddling around with something, and then when I looked up there was a big buck standing broadside 12 yards away from me looking the other direction. I never even heard him come in. Anyway, so I screwed that one up. But so yeah, this is just my collection of bows. That Black Hunter, I really enjoy shooting it. And it's 3-piece, so whereas my one-piece bows got left behind when I traveled for the 2019-2020 season, I think I know that I could break down my Black Hunter and stick it in my carry-on bag. I can probably carry it right on the plane next time and take my bow with me and just pack some arrows down below. Anyway, so that's just my bow collection. And I was originally going to sell the Hunter, the 55-pound Hunter. And I think I'm going to keep it now. I took it out. I haven't shot it in 2 years, at least 2 years. And I just took it out and fired 6 arrows at 32 yards into some hay bales. And my first 3 arrows were dead on right and left, but low, about 10 inches. And then my next 2 arrows were right in the center, bullseye. I mean, that's not bad when you take out a bow. And I was worried about the extra 5 pounds in weight too. And it always felt heavy to me when I first got it. But I've been shooting so much this year that I think I just built up those muscles. And it actually was, I was able to pull it and hold it back for, I was holding it probably 10, 20 seconds before I was letting an arrow go. And I had no trouble doing that at all. So, I may even keep that. I mean, you got them, they're already paid for. I don't, it's not like I have to have that money back. So, hell, they don't go bad, and I think they just earn value over time. So, my bows, one more vid to get out. All right. Thanks. Bye.